Welcome back to Hoochos. Today on Hoochos, we're going to be unboxing and giving some first impressions of this. This is the Bluetti EB150 off-grid battery storage system. I also make a battery-powered sandwich. All right, so I know what you're thinking. Hooch, what does battery power have to do with growing plants? Well, when you combine this with some kind of light source and a way of recharging the battery from just the sun, we can grow plants in a closed system using only the power from the sun. Now, I know you're thinking, Hooch, we can do that with the sun, but there are certain applications that this may be useful in, and if not, at least it's an exploration in creativity. So let's get to unboxing the product. Now, not that it really matters for battery packs, but discreet packaging, which is good just because if it's gonna sit on your front step for any amount of time, you don't want anyone to know that it's fairly expensive. So it's got an internal and an external box, and the internal box is the product box. So first off, it's really hefty. Like, there's definitely some weight in that box. So we've got a warning to keep it out of direct sunlight, quality control certificate, a warranty card. So the warranty on this device is 2 years for the device itself and 1 year on all of the cables and accessories. And we've got our instruction booklet as well. So in here we have, this is our charging brick. So this is an AC to DC converter, I would assume. All right, so our input is 100 to 240 volts AC, 2.5 amps, and the output is 42 volts at 5 amps. So this is to charge from a wall outlet to your Bluetti power station. Oh, that is so useful. That, I was hoping that it would come with one of these. This is a solar charge cable. So this will plug directly into a solar panel, and I'm hoping that it actually regulates the input from the solar panel, which would be really fantastic. I'm gonna deep dive into that in a second. So this will just mean that you can plug a solar panel directly into the device. Oh, that's exciting. I'm really impressed already with this thing. All right, so that's the accessories. And obviously I've got an Australian adapter because they've sent it to me in Australia. You would get with yours whatever standard you have in your country. That's the accessories, and we can look at the main device. All right, so this is actually gonna be easy to get out because it comes with this handle on the power bank already. So we just pull it out like that. Now this is really dense. I expected this to take up more room in the packaging, but this is, I mean, it's pretty compact for the size of the battery pack that it is. Oh, that's cool. Taken out of its plastic. Look at that. Okay, now we've got it unboxed. Let's have a look at the features of this off-grid battery storage system. The battery capacity for this system is 1,500 watt hours and 405 amp hours. So if we start on the back, we've got two 220 to 240 volt AC power outlets. Now mine are Australian standard. Between them, they can handle up to 1,000 watts of power. If you come from another region, this would be delivered with your output standard. We've also got ventilation, and that's pretty simple. If we turn it around, on the front here, we've got our control buttons, our master on, our DC on, and our AC on. We've got our information display as well as an input, which is DC, 16 to 60 volts and 10 amps. Now this is your charging input, so whether it be solar or wall charging. We've also got 4 USB type A outputs, 2 pairs that will each handle 3 amps max. We've got a DC 12 volt 9 amp output, and my personal favorite, a USB type C power delivery up to 45 watts power delivery point. Now this is one of the highest fast charge standards for current USB-C technology. Now this device is more than just an off-grid power storage system. I'd like you to think of it as a battery management system with 4 distinct functions. Within this, you've got the USB and USB-C type power management system, as well as the 12-volt power management system. You've got the charge controller for the solar that you are able to plug into this battery management system. And you've also got a pure sine wave inverter, which inverts up to 1000 watts. So you can run 1000 watts of pretty much any appliance that you like with this device. Now there are three distinct types of sine wave inverters. There are square sine inverters, there are modified sine inverters, and there are pure sine inverters. Now the safest for sensitive electronics is pure sine inversion. This device incorporates that pure sine inverter, so you can happily charge sensitive electronics from this device. Now the beauty of this battery bank being a battery management system as well as battery storage is that you don't need to go fiddling about with wiring up batteries to solar charge controllers and the hassle of battery boxes. This is a plug and play system that does it all in one place. I just want to do a quick comparison between the battery bank and a battery of less than a quarter of the size in an AGM battery style. 23.6 kilograms. This one, 16.8 kilograms. This savings in weight can be attributed to the battery pack's lithium-ion battery cells. They also allow for more charge cycles and a greater discharge capacity. So I've actually done an off-grid hydroponic system build in the past, and in that build we hooked up the battery and the solar controller to our DC pump, which then ran our hydroponic system. But with this battery pack, all it's a matter of doing is plugging the solar panels directly into the battery and plugging our pump directly into the AC output of this system, and you could run that system indefinitely off solar power. Now this might be a bit overkill for that application, but you can see how this battery backup system has practical applications in basically all of your electronic needs if the power were to fail. So let's just take it outside and plug in our solar panels and see if we can start to charge this battery pack for the first time. Okay, so I've got our battery management system. I'm gonna grab the solar panels. I've got the solar panel connector. I'm definitely entry level knowledge on setting up solar systems and whatnot. I have done them before. However, this is kind of an exercise in showing you how simple I think this system will be to set up for anyone, just the layman. So these solar panels are legitimately straight out of the box. This isn't promotion for Kings, but if you'd like to support me, Kings, I'd be more than happy to chat. I'm not yet recommending these solar panels because I haven't tested them at all. These were just the easiest for me to get my hands on at short notice. So Murphy's Law, this is what happens when you get two companies trying to, well, I guess do right by the people using their products. Kings has actually added in their own power management system to the solar panels, and in doing so they've omitted the solar panel connectors for these solar panels, and they've directly wired the solar panels into their charge controller. I can't connect this storage device directly to the solar panels because the connections they've used are different. There are no connections directly to the solar panels. Rather, they've got Anderson plugs and battery terminal connectors that connect to a battery, but I don't want to use these connections because they come after the charge controller on these solar panels. I want to bypass that charge controller and use the charge controller that's in this device to power this device because I actually think it'll be better quality than the one that comes with the solar panels. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to add in the generic MC4 connectors to these panels, which is fine. Generally, if you buy solar panels, they won't actually come with this solar regulator. So you will tend to get these MC4 connectors with your solar panels. So I'm just gonna refit them on, essentially. I looked in here, but it's all soldered up, so I'm gonna cut the line here, and then we can connect these up. I'm just gonna connect them up temporarily for now, and then later down the line, we can connect them up more permanently when I set up the entire grow system. Just gonna strip these. Generally coming out of the solar panels, the male is the positive and the female is the negative. So I'm gonna wire it up that way. Just gonna cut this wire here, like that. And now I'm going to connect this positive to the male and this negative to the female. And then we can just plug our proprietary adapter for this system straight into these connectors. And this is what it looks like. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this solar panel up in full sun. And because it says not to have this in full sun, I'm actually going to put this behind the solar panel. I'll plug it in and then we can just pop it in the front. So I've got our wires coming out of our solar panel and we'll just plug this in the front like that. So we've got an input of 181 or about 180 watts. So as you can see, full sun, no cloud, and what time is it? And the time is 1:27, pretty bright. So the sun's just below its peak. So there you have it. That's how you can set up your Bluetti with solar panels to make this battery management system completely off-grid. Okay, so that's one way of recharging the battery system. The other is obviously just to plug it in the wall, and I'll show you what that looks like. This is the AC adapter and it's actively cooled. So we'll plug it directly into our power bank and that's charging at 211 watts. So that's charging fairly rapidly from the wall. With a 250 watt rated solar panel, it was really only 180 watts. You're still getting a decent amount of wattage charge. So by charging this with a solar panel that's a decent size, you're actually not missing out on a huge amount of charge capacity. So if you had the choice of charging it for free from the sun and charging it a slight bit faster from 240 volt AC, I would actually recommend just charging it in the sun. You're only missing out on 30 watts of charge. So the next logical question is, what can we charge and power from this device? Okay, so in front of me, I've got a selection of grow lights that we're gonna test on this device. Now, grow lights are an example of sensitive electronics that require pure sine technology purely because you're running a driver and multiple LEDs over a PCB and you need clean energy to run them. So let's turn them on and see how it does. Turn the power on to the device and then, I need some sunglasses probably. AC on. Oh, that's pretty cool. Whoa. Just make sure they're all turned right up. That's 569 watts. Oof. And there's a fair bit of heat being put out from them. So this is the Mars Hydro TS1000. It's a 150 watt grow light. This is the Viper Spectra P2000. It is a 200 watt grow light. This is the Viper Spectra XS1000. It's 120 watts. And the Bestva, which is a 100 watt grow light. We've got 569 watts being drawn, which is about right. All right, on to the next question. Can I toast a sandwich with it? This is actually an exercise in trying to max out the amount of power we can draw out of this battery bank. Here I have, this is a 1500 watt toaster, and this will allow me to try and max out the amount of power I can draw from this unit. So I'll make the sandwich. So as you can see, our toast is on, fluctuating between 700 and 1200 watts. We'll see if we can get that heated up and ready to go. Look at that. So these are the Dutch bucket tomatoes from outside in the hydroponic system. And these are black creme tomatoes. Oh, and that sandwich toaster is already heated up. Both sides. Be generous. Now, we can just put together our sandwich and throw it on the grill plate. Like that. Look at that. That's amazing. That's... How good is that? Battery powered sandwich griller. Unbelievable. So I'm just trying to get you a picture of the display while it's cooking so you can see what's going on. All right, our sandwich is done. How good is that? Oh, yum. That's impressive. That is a battery powered sandwich. So we can turn off our power bank and enjoy, wrong kind of knife. That's better. Not doing very well at this. Oh, our cheese and tomato toasted sandwich. Very good. I wonder if it tastes better, battery powered. Very good. Needless to say, I'm very impressed with this battery bank and I'm super excited to use it in a fully environmentally self-contained hydroponic system and grow environment. Thank you, Bluetti, for sending me out this device for review, and links in the description to discount codes and where you can purchase this device. Happy hydroponicking, and I'll see you next time on Hoochos.